Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining me. Terrence, hi, how are you? My name is Jennifer, and I'm from English in the City Prazo. And tonight we are going to a pub. Now, Terrence, how old are you before? Because I have been to pubs several times in my life. Hello, Katia. Good evening. Thank you for joining me. How are you today? As I said, tonight's focus activity, level 810, is pub chat. This evening, we're going to a pub. Katia, have you ever been to a British pub? Been to England or to the UK? I've been to London before. In fact, I went once several years ago. I was still young. And so I went to a few pubs in London. It was a very interesting experience. I'm fine, Katia. Thank you. I had a very relaxing afternoon. I was very, very tired today. I don't know why. So, Terrence, I asked you, Terrence, how old are you? Because tonight we're going to a pub. And I don't know if this is the best place for you to be, Terrence. As I said, I've been to London. In a pub. Sorry, the line keeps going in and out. The connection is not as good this evening. Hello, Andrea. How are you? Thank you for joining me tonight. You went to a pub once also in London, Katia. Hello, Ginevra. Thank you for joining us. Terrence, you are 10. Okay, you can come to the pub with us tonight because we're going to see that the British pubs are different than American bars. Children can go to British pubs. And have you ever been to a British pub, Andrea? Hello, Pietro. Thank you for joining us tonight. We're going, and I'm asking if anyone has ever been to a British pub before we get started on our focus activity. This evening, we're doing focus activity 810. We're going to a pub. And what grammar are we going to be covering during this activity? We're going to work on pub vocabulary. What do you say in a pub? And gossip. And how to fill a conversation filler. Before we get started, what is gossip? And it's something that a lot of people do. It can be considered a bad habit. Is gossip the same as conversation? Thank you, Andrea. Andrea says, yes, Jennifer, I've been, but it's not my cup of tea. So you don't like British pubs? Why not? Why not? The atmosphere in a British pub is very different than that of an American bar. I actually prefer American bars. They are a lot of fun, depending on the one you go to. Some may be dangerous, but others might be very entertaining. What is gossip? Is gossip the same as conversation? For example, The line isn't very good, Katia. I'm sorry. There's a lot of internet traffic this time of day. Terrence, stay focused on the activity. I'm asking everyone if gossip is the same as conversation. For example, if Ginevra and I are meeting for coffee and we're talking, the pubs are too noisy, says Andrea. I prefer American bars. Yes, because who goes to British pubs? That's one of the reasons why they're noisy. And American bars can be specific. For example, there are American bars for sports if you want to watch a particular sport. There are American bars for maybe couples will go to specific bars. So you know that if you go to that type of bar, you're going to be surrounded by certain types of people. But pubs are open to everyone, which is why you can come with us tonight to the pub. Because Terrence is younger than we are. Now, the question that I had posed to everyone was, is gossip the same as conversation? What is gossip? If I meet Ginevra for a cup of coffee and we talk about our families, we talk about our friends, is that gossip or is that conversation? Katya says, because people go to the pub for chatting. Yes, people go to the pub to socialize, and it's a family atmosphere. Families can go to the pub. The pub is not just for drinking. The pub is for socializing, for eating, and for possibly spending the afternoon or the evening with your family, whereas American bars are not, because a lot of Americans like to drink more than they like to socialize. Okay, before we start, we're going to watch a brief video about British pubs. So bear with me just a moment. I'm going to put the video up on the screen. Now everybody can see me very, very big. Hang on. And I'm going to pull the video up. This is a video that talks about pubs in London. Please let me know if you can hear the video as well. Okay, Katya says, because, just a moment. Gossip is when people are talking about somebody's actions or behavior. Good, Katya. Gossip is not very nice conversation. Gossip is when people talk about someone else and they don't talk about that person in a nice way. So it's not flattering conversation like, oh, you know, that Katya, she's such a nice person and she's so good at English and she's a great student. It's like, oh, no, did you see what Katya was wearing? What you see in a British pub and in an English pub, the decor of the pub, I'm going for the temple bar. Is at the pub, and then we'll talk about it afterwards. Okay, if you cannot hear the video, please let me know if there's a problem with the audio as well.
Everyone is well. To the subscribers out there, sorry I haven't been making videos. I've actually come back to England for a family wedding. I'm currently in a place called Hexham. Today, quickly show you what an English pub looks like. And as I said, these are called pubs, and the full name is public house. You can imagine it's a very house go room for the public. Most pubs have a picture coming out of the wall like this. You can see some interesting designs here with these tiles. That looks pretty cool. And here's the name, The Grapes. And this one is actually a hotel. It could have been a hotel before. I'm not sure if it is now, but up there it says The Grapes Hotel. They have a pool table for playing pool. They have a dartboard, quiz night, a jukebox, music, a beer garden, free Wi-Fi, food, live football, so showing the Premier League, and great value drinks. And this, as I said, is really traditional, a really traditional English pub. So let's check it out inside. So here is the pub itself. You can see it really is like someone's front lounge. People just come and sit down on these seats, and people here can bring in their dogs as well. The Grapes pub have been very good. They understand I'm putting this on YouTube.
Notice also the names of the areas in the pub, okay? And what the pub actually looks like. Does it look like a commercial place? Does it look like a traditional restaurant? Or does it look like you're walking into somebody's house?
So here you can see Strongbow cider, which is a dark fruit flavor. And here are draft beers. You've got John Smith's, Foster's, Woodpecker, which is Woodpecker's a cider. Woodpecker's a sweet cider. And over here you've got the real sort of pale ales, aren't they? These are the pale ales, the IPAs.
You've got Old Roses.
Yeah. Which one's 7? Oh, this one here. Old Roses. That's pretty strong. Here is one of the pint glasses. In the UK, the measurement's in pints, and when you buy a beer in the UK, it's usually as a pint or a half pint. So this is
Notice also the measurements of ordering drinks. It's not like ordering a Coke where you ask for a small, medium, or large. You have to ask for a pint or a half pint.
Pint glass, pint of John Smith. And over here is a used half pint. It's the same shape, but just as a half pint. And as I said, a lot of these pubs, it's all about the tradition and old style of England, the UK. So you often have, classic black and white photos of the local area. And over here in the corner is the games room. So English style pool table. It's a lot smaller with smaller holes. So you throw these darts into here, check the scores on a chalkboard over having a beer. Just over here is a fireplace. I'll show you here the beer garden. Now it's July.
Notice also the time of day, whereas Andrea said before, he doesn't really like English pubs because there's a lot of confusion and there's a lot of noise. And as you see, that's absolutely true. Notice the time of day. American pubs are not open in the afternoon because Americans prefer going out at night.
In England, and it's not that warm, but this is what an English pub beer garden looks like. Empty because it's not good weather. A lot of pubs in the UK have these beer gardens. But in the evening time, around 6, they get pretty busy. Let's go back in. Now this is a fruit machine, and all pubs have these fruit machines. Very, very normal in the UK for pubs to have these. And here is one of the menus on the table. Just below the dartboard here, the Kronenbourg is £3, Strongbow £2.80, Foster's £2.40, and a pint of John Smith's bitter £2.30. And then they have other deals as well here. And this is Pimm's. So this is a alcoholic fruit drink, which you add with strawberries. And it's really popular. And Mexican people I know who know the UK, they love Pimm's and always bring it back. I'm just sitting here in the games room. You can see people with their drinks over there. And over there's the exit. I'm going to get out of here now. You see the typical doors. And actually, when I was outside before, I was given this. This is an advert for a Mexican restaurant. So a bit of true Mexico in Hexham outside this pub. Tacos, £2. Esquimos, £2.60. Nacho.
Okay, we're going to stop the video here because now he's talking about Mexican food and we don't care about that. Okay, now let's talk about the video that we just watched. What were the different areas that you noticed in the pub? There were several different areas. When he immediately walked into the pub, what was the room he was in? Does anybody remember the name of it? Let me go back to the focus activity. I thought it was very interesting, all this information about English pubs. And I honestly, myself, I don't like English pubs as well. It's a completely different atmosphere. And you notice the time of day, it was the afternoon. There were families there, there were children there was even a dog. I mean, if you want to go out and you socialize with, some people bring their dogs everywhere, and that's fine. But if I'm going to go out with my friends, I don't know if I would bring my dog with me. So we're talking about the types of areas that we saw in the pub right away. After watching the video, what do you know about British pubs? I have to admit, before watching this video, I did not know very much. What did we see in the video? So before we get specific about particular items we saw, we can talk about the different areas in the pub because it was broken up into specific areas. It wasn't just one big room with a lot of people drinking beer and laying all over the floor. There were actual zones that had different purposes inside the pub. Does anybody remember the names and what they were? If you remember when he first walked into the pub, it looked a lot like somebody's living room. So there were sofas, there were armchairs, there were some low seats by the tables. And that was the first area as you walked into the pub. And then as he, thank you very much, Kathia, for talking to me. Kathia says the main rooms are where the tables and chairs are. Exactly. So in the front of the pub, it was very much like somebody's sitting parlor or their living room. And then there was the games room. And if anyone remembers what was in the games room, there was a pool table. And then there was an open garden in the back. So this was a fairly large pub. It wasn't a small, dark room with a lot of people smoking and drinking. And there were a lot of different activities going on. We noticed that as we moved through the pub, through the garden and the games room and by the bar, what activities were available to people in the pub? Now, I said not much unlike the American pubs where people go simply to drink. They're very focused on drinking in the American pubs. In the British pubs, there are other activities. What can you do in a British pub? In the games room, there is a fire. Did everyone see the fireplace? So on a damp or rainy afternoon or a cold evening, it would be nice to have a fire going in the pub. Does anyone else have anything to add? He noticed also the speaker of the video who was showing us this English pub said that the garden was empty because the weather wasn't very good. We know that the weather often in the UK is cloudy and rainy. From seeing the video, from visiting briefly this British pub, would anyone like to pub? No. Maybe there is a TV for following the football matches. Yes, that's absolutely true, Katya. I noticed a TV as well. I said that in the... Thank you, Andrea. Andrea says there are photos of local places because a lot of these pubs have a history. They have a history to the community and to the people living there. So there are the old photographs of maybe what the pub used to look like, possibly the previous owners of the pub, because a lot of them are historical places. A lot of pubs do have a television, Katya, to follow the sports matches. And it looked like a very festive place to be. Now let's talk about drinks. In the games room, there is a dartboard for playing. Yes. And did anyone notice the strange name that they had for the slot machine? What's a slot machine? And do you play? Should you play? I've never played with a slot machine. They had a particular name for the slot machine. So there's dartboard in the games room. There was a pool table in the games room. And there was also thank you, Pietro and Katya, fruit machine. Yes, and this machine does not give you fruit. You play for money. Thank you, Andrea. Andrea says the slot machine is called a fruit machine. Did anyone feel a curiosity to go to a pub? Would you like to go to a pub? Did it look like the kind of place you would like to visit or hang out with your friends and family? Let's talk about ordering drinks. We're going to answer the questions below all together. And we're going to see what we know about ordering drinks in a pub. Now, for those of us who drink, hopefully not heavily, what drinks do you order on the rocks? And what are rocks? Are they actual rocks that you find in the mountains? Or are they something else? I know, it sounds so cool when you say things, yes, I'll have that on the rocks. Or I'll have that straight up. Shaken, not stirred. Thank you very much. What drinks do you order on the rocks? Does anyone here drink? As you're thinking about what you order on the rocks, what are the rocks? Some of us might want to consider the difference between lager and bitter. I don't remember this one at all. Thank you, Katya. Katya says on the rocks means with ice. Andrea tells us you can get tap beer or bottled beer. The measure is a pint. Thank you very much. So you can get beer on tap or you can get beer in the bottle. And if you get beer in a bottle, there's that measurement of the bottle. But if you get beer on tap or draft beer, then you order it by the pint. And the pint is the size of the glass. So Katya tells us that rocks are not rocks, they are ice. What drinks do you order with ice? Yes, Terrence, you can have a Coca-Cola with ice, but if you want something a little bit stronger, what do you order with ice? And Andrea already answered our last question, how do you order a glass of lager, bitter, or cider? And you order it by a pint. You can get a half pint or a full pint. The only thing I like there is to eat are fish and chips. What other snacks do they have in a pub? Did anyone recall the snacks that they had in the English pub? Something alcoholic. Okay, usually the stronger spirits you can get on the rocks. If you get one of those fruity cocktails, no, you don't get that on the rocks. They can come with ice, I suppose. But if you order something stronger like whiskey or bourbon or can you put scotch on the rocks too? You can order the stronger spirits on the rocks. Let's think about the different snacks they have in the pub as we move on to our next slide. And here we have a list of phrases that you might say or you might hear in a pub. We want to decide who is saying it, the landlord or the customer. Before we decide who is saying what, who is the landlord? Who is the landlord? Terrence, are you still there? I know this is a topic that's a little bit old because you don't go to pubs. What is a landlord? Let's consider the sayings that we're going to go through the list of phrases. Get one for yourself. Afternoon, Governor. I'll have 2 pints of lager and some pork scratchings. Anything else? Cheers. Is it your round? Here you go. Keep the change. That'll be £9.75. Hello, Squire. What can I get you? It's my round. How much is it? Katya, I'm so happy you're here tonight. I really am. The landlord is the owner of the pub. So the landlord is the person that maybe you'll see behind the bar. We spoke the other evening, Andrea, about a bartender. He asked me if they have a barista in the US, and I said, no, they're called bartenders or a bar person. And in the English pubs, they are the landlords. Crunchies too. Thank you, Andrea. Those are other snacks that you can find in an English pub. Okay, so the owner of the pub is the landlord, and the client obviously is looking for something to eat or something to drink. Let's go through the phrases, and you tell me landlord or customer. Get one for yourself. Are they going to tell us the answers here? Here. Get one for yourself. Is this the landlord or the customer? Oh, I think I'm getting allergies again this season. I was so lucky before. Now I have allergies. So the first phrase, get one for yourself. Who is speaking? The landlord or the customer? Get one for yourself. If you walk into an English pub, and let's say the landlord says, okay, hi, good afternoon or good evening, welcome to English in the City pub. What can I get for you? And it's like, oh, you know what? I'd like a pint of pale ale. And he says, get one for yourself. According to you, does the landlord say that or the customer? Let's take a look at the second sentence. Afternoon, Governor. I'll have 2 pints of lager and some pork scratchings. I'm not even going to ask what pork scratchings are. They don't sound very appetizing. So I'll tell you the first phrase, get one for yourself. Hello, Squire. Are you already putting these in order, Katya? Hello. Hello, Squire is actually the first sentence of the dialogue. Katya, this one here, get one for yourself. Who is speaking? Thank you. The second one is the customer. Thank you very much. We see here that the customer says, afternoon, Governor. Governor is also another title for the landlord. Get one for yourself is also the customer speaking. Anything else? Wait a minute. Do I personally use the word squire? No, in the US, we don't say squire because it's not a very nice, it's almost like peasant or not slave really, but it's a very low, it's a term that refers to your clothes. If someone says squire, you're like, oh, ah. Because notice that the customer says to the landlord, governor, landlord, which shows a certain social status. If you're a squire, then you don't have very much status in society, so it's not a very nice term to use. Now, that are red. Okay, get one for yourself. Afternoon, governor. I'll have 2 pints of lager and some pork scratchings. Here you go. Keep the change. It's my round. How much is it? Is all the customer. Whereas the blue phrase is anything else. Cheers. Is it your round? That'll be £9.75. Hello, squire. What can I get you? Are all the phrases of the landlord. And this is the order of the conversation. Okay, hello, squire. What can I get you? Afternoon, governor. I'll have 2 pints of lager and some pork scratchings. Anything else? Get one for yourself. So what happens here is that the landlord takes the order from the customer, and then the customer says, drink with me. Isn't that fantastic? So the customer goes to the English pub and he tells the landlord, have a drink on me so we can drink together. Cheers. Is it your round? It's my round. How much is it? Says the squire. The landlord. That'll be $9.95. Then the squire, the customer, says, here you go. Keep the change. It's very the language that they use. I don't actually know if they still use that language today. In the US, we're much more, we don't have titles for people. We don't even use sir and ma'am anymore. It's like, hey, you. Now we want to talk about gossiping. And as we said at the beginning of the focus, mere conversation. Gossiping is when you talk about, we're still talking about, Andrea says, a stable man, if I remember well. A squire, possibly. So the person that would work for a man who had property mean that you got paid. Because if I remember my history classes, a squire was like an indentured servant, meaning that for a home, for a house, and for food, you were given work. So you had a place to live. So you didn't have to get up and go to work every day. You lived where you worked. And you were paid because they gave you food and they gave you a place to live. So you in a way, you became property of the landlord. You became property of that person. And because a lot of the people also, yes, if they owned property, they also owned horses. They had livestock. One of your responsibilities may have been to take care of the animals. Andrea, you know so many things. Okay, let's talk about gossiping. God, you talk about other people, but not in a nice way. So if Kathy and I get together and we say, oh, we're going to talk about Andrea, and oh, did you see the pants he was wearing, and why does he walk around like that? Then that is gossiping. Whereas if we say wonderful comment in the English lesson this evening, then that's conversation. So here we have idioms. What's an idiom? An idiom is a term we use to describe a person. For example, a very common idiom that we hear all the time is couch potato. What is a couch potato? Is a couch potato a giant potato that sits on your sofa? No, a couch potato is a person that is extremely inactive, very lazy, and stays on the sofa all day long. Here are other examples of idioms. We have blabbermouth, spill the beans, dish the dirt, my lips are on my life. On the other side of our screen, we have the meanings of these idioms. I won't tell anyone, to tell a secret, to share negative secrets, to die before telling anyone, someone who can't keep secrets. So here we're also talking about the ability to not speak out of term. Okay, blabbermouth. What is a blabbermouth? As you have the answers, please just put them in. You're welcome, Andrea. Just put them in the conversation box and we'll go over the answers together. Katya says, I am a... No, you're not. I just turn off. Does anyone have any ideas? Or should I just tell you? And I'm having difficulty. A blabbermouth is someone who talks a lot. One person. So a blabbermouth to keep a secret. What about to spill the beans? Spill the beans. Keep in mind, these are not actual beans. The beans are actually pieces of information. They're pieces of important information. So if you consider a bean as some information, people are giving you information. Do with that information. What do you do with it? Usually this information is valuable information. It's something that you don't want. What are you doing? Thank you, Katya. If you spill the beans, you tell a secret. Okay, we're back again. Sorry about the interruption on the internet. A blabbermouth is a gossiper. Thank you very much. It told us that spill the beans is to tell a secret. What about all right, you guys are going to come over with me. I'm going to move my position to dish the dirt is to share negative secrets. Hang on a second while I turn on the light. Backlighting is terrible. The line has gone. I know, Katya. Okay. I'm back. Can everyone see me now? Let me know if you have any problems with the video and the audio. This is a very difficult time. The hour, I mean, is difficult. My lips are sealed. Let's see if we can get through this focus. We just have a few more slides to go. My lips are sealed. So we said that to dish the dirt is to share negative secrets. To spill the beans is to tell a secret. And a blabbermouth is someone who can't. Oh, excellent, Katya, you're back. I'm so happy you're back. So now everybody can see me and hear me okay. My lips are sealed. What does that mean? If your lips are sealed, are you dishing the dirt? Are you spilling the beans? Are you a blabbermouth? Thank you, Katya. I'm so happy that you come to my focuses every day. My lips are sealed. I won't tell anyone. Why? Why? Because look at the next one. Look at the next one. The last one is swear on my life. Cross my heart, hope to die. I swear on my life, I'm not going to tell anyone this big, big secret. So that means someone will have to kill me before I break this promise to you. So my lips are sealed. I won't tell anyone, but if there's the danger of death, I might. So I'll do my best. But if I swear on my life, it means I'll die. But if you swear on your life, it means you will die before you break the promise. That's the kind of friend you want, who would rather die than to break their promise to you. As we go on to the next slide, would you consider yourself using these descriptions of people who keep secrets or don't keep secrets? Would you consider yourself a blabbermouth? Or are you someone? It's much better now. Oh, fantastic. I think it depends on where I am in my house. I moved maybe 3 feet, 2 meters. Oh, that's all I did. I didn't do anything spectacular. So how would you describe yourself? Can you keep a secret? If someone tells you a secret, are you the kind of friend that keeps the secret, doesn't tell anybody? I think this is where I'm going to have to stay all the time now when I do my focuses. This is a very good position. Or are you the kind of person that likes to gossip? It's going to be kind of hard for us to have a conversation about gossiping this way, because you'd have to write all the gossip down. Katia says, swear my life is similar to lo giuro sulla mia vita. Absolutely, yes. And it also means that you're extremely loyal and faithful, that you would rather die before breaking a promise to somebody, that if somebody tells you something that's important to them, then you're not going to break that promise and tell their news to somebody else. You can keep a secret, Katia. I can too. I am a very good secret keeper. I can keep secrets. You do know why? Do you know why I keep good secrets? Because I forget. People tell me things like, swear, promise, don't tell anybody. Please don't tell anybody. If anyone found out, I don't know what I would do. And I say, okay, your secret is safe with me. Because as soon as I turn around, I forget what they say. That's why I keep good secrets. Andrea says, I'm not a blabbermouth, but I'm a chatterbox. So you like to talk. You like to talk a lot. I like to talk too. But I also like to listen. Okay, we've talked about gossiping. We've gone to the pub. What do you order in a pub? Who is the landlord? Who is the squire? What do they say to each other? We talked about gossiping, idioms for gossip. And now I want to talk about conversation fillers. What's a conversation filler? A conversation filler is what I do every day when I do these focuses and I ask a question and nobody answers. Then I have to come up with conversation fillers. Conversation fillers are used when you are asked a question or need to think about what to say next. So instead of sitting there in complete silence, you say something, to lighten the mood a bit. So thank you, Katia. Katia says to keep a secret is very important if you want to be a friend of a person. Yes, it is. Not everybody has secrets, but if there's a moment where a person has a secret, then they should know that they can rely on you to keep that secret if they need to tell you. These are conversation fillers. Well, so that's a tough one. You know, I never really thought about that. I guess one of the most common conversation fillers is, well, and it depends on how you say it, because if you say it really long, then you can fill a long pause. Well, so anyway, that's another conversation filler too. And when do we use conversation fillers? Not just during focus activities. When else do we use conversation fillers? Exactly, Katia. Katia is talking about keeping secrets. Keeping secrets is very important because sometimes if someone tells you something that's extremely personal and they're like, listen, I have this thing going on and I just really want to tell you, but please don't tell anybody else. And it could be something like really, really intimate. That would be horrible if someone else knew. So it's kind. It's a kind thing to do that if someone says, listen, I have a secret, please don't tell anyone, to keep that secret. Why do we need conversation fillers? Why do we need them? And not everybody is good at it. I'm sure Andrea is very good at it. He's good at filling up conversations. I am too. I can talk forever. I always find something else to say. Here in this slide, we have gossiping with your friends. Discuss the rumors using gossip phrases and conversational fillers. To keep time for thinking, very good. We use conversation fillers also if we're thinking about what we need to say next or something we want to say. Or sometimes if you're having a conversation, you get to the point where nobody knows what to say afterwards. It's hard to start the conversation again, but if you can kind of keep the conversation flowing, then everybody's relaxed. So you use conversation fillers to keep everybody relaxed because people are not comfortable when there are big silences. Gossiping with your friends. What is a rumor? What's a rumor? A rumor is not a noise. It's not a noise. And rumors are closely linked to gossiping. Why? Because if someone hears a rumor, then that usually starts gossip. Is a rumor true or is it not true? A rumor is news. For example, let me see, some big news. Oh, there was a major car accident on the motorway. Is that a rumor or just news? They've been breaking into supermarkets and stealing all the food. Is that a rumor or just news? I heard that, Andrea, even though he's extremely non-violent, I heard that he has a lot of guns in his house. Oh my God, really? Katya, a rumor is news that has no foundation. If I just tell you something randomly about somebody, that's a rumor. That's a rumor. For example, did you hear about Andrea? Andrea doesn't even speak English. He does focuses all day long and he doesn't even speak English. That's a rumor. And so now Kathy and I, we get together, we're talking, oh my God, that's terrible. I can't believe it. Oh, what a tragedy. That's scandalous. And then we go talk to other people. And this is how a rumor turns into gossip. For the last few minutes of our focus, I want to thank everybody for being with me this evening because it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy between all the problems with the connection and the internet traffic. But you guys are so dedicated, and that's what makes it worthwhile. So thank you. Thank you so much. Exactly true, Katya. A rumor, something that is not true, but people talk about it. And that's what makes rumors so dangerous, because the more people talk about rumors, the more people might believe that they're true. And then all of a sudden you have people thinking things or believing things about you or someone else that are not true. We want to create a role play. Okay, I'm the landlord. Before we finish the focus this evening, would you all come into the pub and order something to drink? And maybe give me a piece of news. Okay. Can we try? Listen, I know Katya's here and Andrea's here, so please. Yes, it can be very dangerous. It's absolutely true. Rumors are very dangerous because that rumors can actually turn into slander. And slander is a crime. You can ruin someone's career or their marriage by slandering them. You can even get them arrested and thrown into prison for slander if someone believes your rumor. Oh, we only have a few minutes left. Hi, everybody. Welcome to English in the City Pub. My name is Jennifer. I'm your landlord. And what can I get for you this evening? What can I get for you? I think Terrence is gone. Poor Terrence. What can I get for you this evening? Would anyone like a drink before they go? Now, do we remember how you order drinks in an English pub? You say, oh, I'd like a small Coke, please. No, you don't drink Coke in a pub. Oh, Terrence, you're still there. Terrence, we're in a pub, Terrence. Ask me for something to drink. Terrence, I'm so happy you're here. Ask me for something to drink. Because in an English pub, you can go to an English pub too. Okay? You can't drink beer. You can't drink alcohol, but you can have juice or some Coke. So, hi, Terrence. Welcome to English in the City Pub. What do you want to drink? Thank goodness Terrence is here. He's such a good student. Because this is actually, good evening. Could I have a pint of beer, please? Yes, you can. Thank you, Katya. Would you like, what kind of beer would you like? Would you like pale or dark beer? I prefer the pale ale. Would you like any snacks with your pint of beer, Katya? Maybe some pork scratchings? Or some fish and chips? Terrence, what would you like to drink, honey? Tell me what you want to drink. I think I'm going to have a pint too. I think I'll join you, Katya. I'll have a pint with you. I'll have a dark beer and some chips. Fantastic. You know what? You guys have been so great this evening. Coca-Cola? Coca-Cola Colche. What size Coca-Cola would you like, Terrence? In fact, this round is on me because you guys have been so fantastic tonight during our focus. Andrea, can I get you something to drink before I go? This round is on the house. What does that mean when this round is on the house? It means that the landlord pays for you. So this round is on me. Would anyone else like to order a drink before we wrap up our focus? I'll have a dark beer too, Katya. I'll have a dark pint and some chips. So in tonight's focus, we've had a fantastic few weeks here. We've traveled the world. We've gone on holiday. We've gone shopping. We've talked about food. And tonight we went to an English pub and Terrence came with us. We went over the vocabulary that we use in a pub. Yes, we can have a drink together, Katya. We went over the vocabulary in a pub, the characteristics of a pub, that an English pub is very much like somebody's home. In the front parlor, it looks like a living room. There's the bar, the games room, the garden. We went over different ways to order drinks, the different types of drinks that you can order in an English pub. And then we talked about conversation, different types of conversation, the difference between gossip and conversation, and that gossip is not nice. Gossip is mean conversation about someone else. We used different idioms tonight that describe how people keep secrets and how much they like to talk, from blabbermouth to spilling the beans and to swear on your life, which means that you will die before you break a promise and you tell a secret of someone else. Then we talked about how important conversation fillers are. Gives you time to think about something else to say, to keep the conversation going. And then to wrap up our focus, we had a drink together. I know. So everyone, well, a few of us ordered some drinks and I was your landlord. But not to worry because no one has to pay because this round is on the house. Does anyone have any questions? Does anyone have any questions before we wrap up our focus? We're going to be live again tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow morning we're going to be live. I will be with you again tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. And tomorrow we are not going to a pub. We are not going to a supermarket. We are going back to school. Yes, tomorrow is going to be a very, very serious focus. We're going to talk about school. So if no one has any questions about grammar or about English pubs, I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. It was a great way to pass my evening. Yes, Terrence, tomorrow we're going back to school. I want to go back to school too. I do. I miss it. I miss going to school. I really do. No, but really, I really miss leaving my house. I miss going outside. So listen, if no one has any questions, I thank you so much. It was great to spend this hour with you. Have a great evening. Andrea, I love your comments. I love your comments. I really do prefer ear in New York. Yes, I know it. I know it. Bye, Katya. Thank you so much. And I'll see you. I'll hear you tomorrow morning. Okay. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening. And thank you so much. It's been really, really great. So have a great evening, and I will see everyone next time. Okay.